Okay, thanks for staying with us on the show TMI Monday. Now we'll go straight to next discussion segment. This time we're looking at a wide range of issues, beginning from the home scene, and then we'll extrapolate that to the national scene and take a look at some of the issues that are on the front burner. Well, the issues been on in the last couple of days, particularly with the convocation ceremony which took place at the Edo University. That's where this whole matter started, and then it was like a joke when it came out in the first place, but it's now really a big issue, talking about the attack on the governor and the Oba of Lagos and a host of others during that ceremony. But fortunately, the incident took place at the house, at the residence of the national chairman of the ruling party in the country. And then the governor expressed himself in an interview he granted to pressmen who accosted him, wanted him to say something about what transpired. But it brings to the question which has been on the lips of many people: when will this issue come to an end? Let me first welcome our panelist. Christopher Ojekere is the program officer with Foundation for Good Governance and Social Change. Is also a public affairs commentator. Many thanks for joining us, Chris.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
We have with us in the studio a member of the National Association of Social Workers. I'd like to thank very especially Christian Osegali. Christian, many thanks for joining us on the program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's my pleasure.
Okay. All right. So, Chris, the crisis rocking the APC in Edo State, just when you think that, okay, fine, somehow we've not heard anything from them in recent time, maybe there are some secret underground meetings going on, and then something just busts out, and then you're wondering, when will this come to a close?
Well, the end is not in sight yet, because there are issues that are yet to be resolved. We don't want to pretend the way the governor and his ex-trial predecessor pretended when this was beginning to snowball underneath. When it was common knowledge to everybody in Edo State that they had very serious issues whose undercurrent was beginning to undermine certain things in the state, they kept denying before the state and national press that they had no problem between them. But the problem wasn't going to be hidden for a very long time. And now it has come out to the open. Every day we hear of accusations and counter-accusations, attacks and counter-attacks and all of that. People are beginning to wonder whether these two leaders of the state and leaders of the political party that controls the state are aware that it is the duty of the political party and its government to provide for the economic, social, and political well-being of the state. People are beginning to wonder whether the governor has forgotten why he was elected, and whether the national chairman, who was the former governor, who was hugely responsible for why we have the present governor, has forgotten why he went through all of that effort to install Governor Obaseki as governor in Edo State. It's becoming ridiculous. It's becoming embarrassing. And as I said, there's no end in sight because we know what the problem is. The problem is about the next election, the next Edo State governorship election. Now, we are going to expect, judging by antecedents, even more violent reactions, because the question of who is going to fly the party ticket will yet be resolved. The question of who is going to become the governor will yet be resolved. And that is the real contest. All this we are watching are preludes, preamble to that real contest.
So you expect it to get messier?
Yeah, we expect it to get messier. Except, of course, which is what we are all hoping, that reason will prevail.
Okay.
That the governor and the national chairman will allow themselves to be advised by so many people who are trying to advise. We understand that a lot of peace efforts in the past have been initiated, both within and outside the state, and they have not been able to resolve the issues. Therefore, we are now hoping that having come to this stage, the governor will advise himself And the national chairman will advise himself and allow themselves to be counseled and advised to sit down together on the table and find lasting solution to this problem.
All right.
That is the only time we can hope to have an end.
Christian, you share in these sentiments or they are contrary?
Well, some part I share, but the only contrary is the issue when he said Oshomole installed the governor. Oshomole campaigned for the governor and we voted for the governor. The truth of the matter is that, honestly, it will be very difficult for Oshomole to tell us that he was not the one that campaigned vigorously for the governor, because he believed in him and he made us to believe in him. Well, my own personal view of this so-called conflict, so-called in the sense that because those players seems to have nice sleep, the two actors in this drama seems to have nicer sleep than the audience, people watching them. I think the people watching them have more sleepless night than them. So I believe that, you know, politicians, they have a way of talking to each other. But no matter how messy the thing becomes, I believe one thing clearly, that both actors, Oshomole and Obaseki, they have one common interest, which is APC must hold sway in Edo State. And it will, no matter how messy the thing gets to, they will come to a point to realize that if they don't tread gently and softly, that their common interest will just elude them. So for me, they will find a way of coming together. But I want to appeal to we, the audience, to look less on this issue. Look less, because at the end of the day, it happens every now and then. It's just that this one is not becoming confrontational. There is no governorship election. Actually, when you have a city governor who wants a second tenure, that has ever been easy anywhere. So it's a normal thing in politics, and I want them to understand that they are fathers, and the interest of Edo State as it were should be paramount. Okay. Because from the look of things, I don't think they are thinking from that perspective. The general interest of Edo State should be their primary concern, and once they don't focus on that, they will just open their eyes and they might miss the track. Is
there any way the people can really take their eyes off this conflict against the background that it could be a snag and a drag on development, on government policies, particularly for the one in power right now? Yes,
that, you know why I said so. This, if you hear any time Obaseki speaks, he will say he don't have problem with Oshomole. Oshomole will tell you don't have problem with Obaseki. Okay. Now, let us pretend or hold them to their word. Because in the final analysis, let us not be drinking the Panadol for another man's headache. They are both APC members, and this conflict is intra-party conflict. It's a conflict within the party. And now even if as other parties talking to the issue, they're on their own. Because I believe, if you look at the constitution of APC, there are a clear-cut mechanism of resolving conflicts within themselves. Okay. But in the final analysis, I know for sure that either the governor or Oshomole, the former governor, they will never allow themselves to trade away APC in Edo State.
Why are you so sure about that?
Because, first, Oshomole is the national president of APC.
National chairman.
Sorry, national chairman of APC. And Obaseki is the governor of APC. And now, when you look at the meeting...
Governor of APC or governor of Edo State, we need to put these things clearly.
Yes, governor of Edo State and leader of APC in Edo State. Okay. Now you can see both of them are leaders. As governor, he will not, he's proud, anywhere he goes, he's the only governor of APC in the whole of South-South. He will not want to lose that pride. And Oshomole will tell you, anywhere he goes, as the national chairman, his home is belongs to his party. That is a major, in politics, political party is the golden rule. That is why Section 221 of the Constitution said, whoever wants to contest for any office in Nigeria, you must do so through a political party. Okay. So party is sacrosanct, it's important. Both of them know. And that is why I believe that they will not want that great opportunity that they have now. Based on, because look at what happened in Zamfara. The former governor is regretting it today. Honestly, because even after they struggled through the court to contest election, they won all the governorship, the House of Representatives, and the court later said, surrender all to the next candidate. I am sure those people that took the governor side to court and the governor side that went to court, today both of them are regretting it. So, and I believe APC must have learned from that quagmire,
okay,
and even that of Rivers State. Okay. Similarly happened in Rivers State. Okay. Edo State will not, I believe, Edo State will not want to be tempted to fall into that trap.
Do you believe that politicians learn from things like this, or is always about self-preservation?
If they learn, then you won't have more than one case to cite. He cited Zamfara. I should add Imo. You should add what almost happened in Ogun State. So if they learn, you won't have more than one case. What it simply means is that whatever happens is decided by the instincts of the moment. It's not by learning, no deliberate cognitive apprehension of facts or information. It is just the instinct of the moment, survival interest, survival instinct. Now, the point is, I don't share his optimism that both of them, you know, are so patriotic to the party as to not make APC lose in the state. I mean, Edo State is no more APC than Zamfara was. And Oshomole was national chairman. Abdulaziz Yari was APC governor. And they threw away that state. The point is, the way things are going right now, I'll give you an example. 14 constituencies in Edo State have not been represented since they've been elected to represent their people in the House of Assembly. Is that not throwing away the state in a way, by manner of speaking? There are 14 constituencies that are not represented. That's throwing away the state. Those people have not enjoyed APC's policy, they've not enjoyed APC's program, they are not enjoying APC representation. Now, the governor has not been known to be too averse to using other political platforms. In fact, the governor is known to have made so much friendship across political lines that there was a time that he was more present in PDP functions than in APC functions. So it is not to be taken for granted that they cannot lose the state, or that they are so patriotic to the state that at the end, what we should weigh is the volume of ego that these two men have, the volume of pride they want to protect, you know, and what they are willing to sacrifice from that ego and pride. It just looks like it's going to get to the point where there's going to be a re-explosion. And in that case, anything could happen. PDP or other parties shouldn't wait for them to win or lose before they start to think of taking over. Other parties should sit down and begin to strategize how to take advantage of the situation. That is what it should be. So we are hoping that they will love the party so much, as he hopes. They will love the party so much, they will understand the implication of their fight so well, that they will both rise up to say, gentlemen, let's sit down and talk these things over like men, and so preserve the party. That is the only way. But to think that there's going to be some wand that will naturally change the progression of things if there is not a deliberate attempt to do so, I don't share that optimism.
Okay.
Yes.
If you just want us to still TMI Monday, and we'll just step up a little bit on our conversation. I mean, in October, there was a pronouncement by Mr. President on the closure of our national borders. And that's, you know, a build-up to an earlier closure of the western borders in the month of August. Now we hear there is an extension of the border closure to January 2020. And of course, against that background, the Nigerian Customs Service has been talking about the gains recorded from the border closure so far. Gentlemen, let's talk about these gains. Yeah. Or is there anything contrary you feel that has come forth as a result of this border closure? Let me start with Christian. Yeah.
For me personally, the border closure is a blessing, a huge blessing to this country.
Why do you say so?
Because a lot is happening and a lot more will happen. First, why is custom dancing to the bank? Because most of those illegal routes, people now, because of the blockade and the stress in using alternative illegal routes, some are now coming, some are now bringing their goods into the country through the legal channel. And they know that when you do so, you must pay the necessary tax. And paying that tax simply means it's a bonus for the federal government. And look at the issue of even the fuel subsidy. NNPC reported the other day that suddenly, since the closure, the consumption of fuel in Nigeria has reduced drastically to more than about 60 million liters. So that means the blockage results to that. It simply means that if there is subsidy that we have never seen in picture, if it's there, that means subsidy cost has equally reduced. And now look at I was watching the central bank governor the other day, Emefiele, almost dancing. No, because when I saw him, I was seeing the joy in him. And it was when he rounded up his comment, and I know that, he's a businessman. He invested so much in this Aquas Borrowers program. And to him, the time these farmers, after harvesting this rice, they were supposed to return the money was not forthcoming. And when he actually want to bounce on them, he go to the warehouse, the rice are there. So he was not surprised that the money has started coming, because this warehouse, the rice has disappeared. Okay. So this rice that we are stuck in the warehouse of these farmers, people are not looking for it. So those are signs of good things to come. Because over the years, people will myopically say, why not government provide these things before you banned? It has never helped us. Even when Basenjo came and was talking of farmers, this and that, and let's help the local industry to grow. As long as the border are open, black man being what we are, we must always find shortcuts. Look at the textile industry. They are now resurrecting. And the other day I was reading how the Lagos State governor said they want to have rice farm in about 5 states. And I think probably because they don't have enough land in Lagos State.
Absolutely.
So those are plus. I was just reading just now where the Cross River State governor said their mill is the biggest in the whole of Nigeria. By December, they will complete it. It has a capacity of about 6,500 tons, metric tons of rice capacity. So all these are, you are giving the local production incentive. For example, sir, if I am a farmer, keeping live after having rice for some time and suffering, nobody is buying. And suddenly, because of closure of border, and they are now buying, I will not only increase the size of my farm, I will increase the size of my laborers. So that is the beauty of this closure. And for me, January is even too small. Initially, when we closed, Ghana said that they will equally ban Nigeria goods. And later, when the manufacturers association there met, they told themselves that we actually need Nigeria more than they need us. They must start thinking. Because if you observe before the closure, federal government was using what we call stop-to diplomacy. They need these neighboring countries. You allow your goods to come in, and they are not using these goods in your country. You just collect tax and allow them to enter Nigeria. Find a way of making sure that the relationship, the rules guiding this relationship of this neighborhood is enforced. They never listen. Now, Nigeria now say, well, enough is enough. After subtle diplomacy, what do? You take action. That is how every civilized society in the world behaves. Yeah. So now that subtle diplomacy has failed, this action is necessary. And I'm aware now that most of these neighboring countries are now begging. Let's now discuss. Okay. So Nigeria should hold their ground and give them strict conditions before these borders can be open. And now, just a few days ago, we discussed with some people. More people want to go back to farm now because it's not becoming very lucrative. And the Textile Association said they are now happy because most of those illegal clothes that used to come to, they are no longer coming the way they used to come. This closure is a plus for Nigeria, and I want all Nigerians to encourage it. And the custom chairman and then DG said a few days ago that smugglers are desperate. They are not looking for another illegal route. So now that it's aware, it simply means that they are up their game. So whenever they smugglers discover illegal route, the custom commission should equally find a way of blocking those illegal routes.
It's like saying that Ineke the bird has learned to fly without perching.
The hunter should learn to shoot without waiting for the bird to perch.
All right, so let me get your perspective.
Yes, I think it's the most progressive policy
of this government
I've seen from Buhari.
Okay.
I'll give you some statistics to back what he has said. Republic of Benin is just about 12 million people. Yet they are the fifth importers of Asian rice
Republic of Benin.
Republic of Benin.
Fifth importer.
In the world.
And they don't consume
They are the
one.
largest importers of second-hand clothing in the world. Where do these rice and
Clothes
clothing
go to? Who eats the rice?
They
in
import
Benin?
them and then smuggle. You see, these things must be very clear, because I see some people write a lot of things, we have to be patriotic to the country. What is for the country, whoever initiates it, we should praise it. First of all, before I come back to this, the Nigerian borders the entire Nigerian borders were not closed. People talk about borders as if land is the only border. We had the border from the air. We have the border from the sea.
Yeah.
Those are legitimate sources, and they have manned facilities that make it easier for custom to be able to check incoming goods. And custom is also able to collect import duties and taxes on goods and services, in fact, imported into the country.
Yeah.
That you cannot do with the land border, because the land border is too wide, porous, and there are too many illegal routes in the land borders. Now, these things imported by the Republic of Benin are smuggled through these illegal routes into Nigeria. Now, in 2018 alone, Republic of Benin spent about $977 million importing rice. 2018 alone. Now, what the annoying thing is this: we all belong to the ECOWAS, and there's an ECOWAS charter. The ECOWAS charter,
Treaty.
Yes, treaty. One of the charter in that treaty is that we allow free movement of goods and services among ECOWAS nations.
Yeah.
But the goods that is referred to in that treaty are goods manufactured within ECOWAS countries. Not goods imported from other economic zones, and then smuggled into neighboring countries. Now, if you have to import from other economic zones, what you are required to do as an ECOWAS country is to take a little token of tax on the goods, and then your custom will escort that goods to the border of the next ECOWAS country and hand over the goods to that ECOWAS country, so that other ECOWAS country can tax on the goods. But what these people do in the Republic of Benin, they take the tax, the tax on the goods, they take the custom duties and the tax on the goods.
They take everything.
Yes, and then they smuggle those things and flood our market. And as he said, our manufacturers, our producers, everybody became, in fact, the moment you start to manufacture anything, somebody goes to the Republic of Benin and floods the market with
that simple.
So we have no economy. Now, what we are beginning to gain, as he said, Custom DG Hamid Ali, bless his soul, told us that they are making about $5 billion every day. That's what custom is beginning to gain. As he said, I don't want to keep repeating the things that he said. Our farmers, I can assure you now that if you go to our local markets, the leading rice, even in the south here, we didn't take much advantage of the Anchor Borrowers program.
Yes.
The North took advantage of it. So that's why we are late in coming the production of rice. And up till now, Edo State did not take advantage of that.
Of
the government of Edo State, yes, was so reluctant. There were farmers in local communities which I met. I just met some on Saturdays who gave me a very galling narrative of how they on their own paid their money, came to Benin, open bank account and all that, but all the bureaucratic things that the government was supposed to do to give them access to that fund, they didn't get it. And so we didn't take advantage of that. But in the north, they took advantage of it. And so you have small boys in Kano, small boys in Jigawa, small boys in Kebbi now, building up themselves into cooperative and building huge rice mills, individual ones, and they are transporting the rice to Edo State and other southern parts to sell. It was only Cross River who took advantage of that, and that's why he's telling you by 2020, Cross River rice will be able to feed the entire South-South community. So these are the advantages and the gains. Now, let's come to the security implication. I just read from the DSS that arms importation or arms smuggling into the country, illegal arms smuggling into the country, have reduced drastically. Kidnapping activities across border and within and around border has reduced drastically.
Yes.
In fact, the robbers didn't know what to do. They now had to start robbing the containers that were stopped in the border. Now, so much AK-47s and so on were entering this country through those illegal borders. Okay. Nobody is monitoring these things, apart from child trafficking and all of that was going on through those illegal borders. So it's a win-win situation for us. I do not think that 2020, January 31st is a good deadline. I think we should give it time, but I know that's just a proposition. Does not mean that it's going to be that. We should give it time. Hamid Ali has just raised another point of alarm. He said the Republic of Benin had signed before now, I think about $32 billion rice with Japan. Wow. For Japan to produce for them.
Wow.
Yes, he knows that the target was Nigeria. And that deal had already been signed. So we should be very careful.
Okay, I just want to ask a question, which is that before the borders were closed, we had this free flow. And the issue was that we didn't have enough manpower to man these borders.
Yes.
Now the borders have been closed.
Yes.
Does it not mean suddenly we have enough manpower to man these borders?
Yes.
Yes. I need to get that. I need to understand that.
We have always have enough. Although we don't have enough, it's two issues now.
Yes.
When I mean we already have enough, it's just that within the same custom officers, there are what we call moles.
Yes.
Who were first never comfortable with the introduction of this DGLE, who came in from the different constituencies. I think Buhari have a different plan that nobody knew before. But if it was the same system that produced this DG, we will not be getting results. Because before now, as we used to hear border closure. It never worked. It's just that this man needed to do some things, and that is why we are seeing that they are manning all the border. Sir, if you talk about security just now, are you not surprised that of recent, they are now discovering detention camp in Nigeria, where they kept people, train them,
children,
and begin to even sell them across. Now the business house is gone. That is you cannot move them away the way you used to move them before. A lot of things is happening. So the custom, they have upped their game because one, they have a new sheriff in town who actually was alien to their mechanism of operation before. And even when they speak the language they used to speak, he may not understand the code because he came from a different constituency. And that is why it's as if now that they are up their game and the manpower seems to be enough. Like I said earlier, he said the smugglers are faster. They are now discovering more illegal routes. They want to use. Now, he must have not part strategy to block those illegal routes. So the manpower may not be enough. But the ones they have, they are utilizing them to achieve their aim. Otherwise, these successes we are talking about will not be will not be noticed. And that is why even when government, it's just that unfortunately, government will have over time, even till now, most of them don't want to do anything, sir. Once a government decide that I want to do this for the benefit of the people, they will get results.
Absolutely.
Like what you say now, if Edo State, I remember the day we were hearing of Koben's rice. Till today when you go to Agbede, that same rice is still available. Kingsway used to just produce the packet, put the rice inside. Now those rice are still there, and today Agbede don't have, in fact, those states don't have any semblance of standard meal. If you see those local farmers, they still use local meal today. And they themselves have managed, because if you go to Agbede market, you see different varieties of rice. There are some without stone. They see local tools, local method to get to that level. And if those states now, for example, that's why I say if government decide that they want to do something,
and they are serious about
it, they will get results. It's only when they are not serious we begin to see failures here and there. If those states now, we want to engage ourselves into this rice production, because rice is the most consumed food, staple food in Nigeria. If we go into this production, let's do this, within this period we are going to achieve this, then we'll get results. So even when police, for example, now said they don't have more power, enough manpower to provide security, and you see where about 6 securities are attached to one particular individual, and they now make up and say, we want to really police this country. Police will wake up and they will do their job. So it's just when you don't have manpower, the one you have you must find a way of making use of them to get results. That is when government began to say, yes, I must be responsive to the need and yearning of the citizenry.
Okay.
Well, but just to quickly add to that, beyond that, you know, we have legal borders, legal land borders.
Yes.
Then we have illegal land borders. When custom used to cry about being short of manpower, it is saying that the illegal borders are as active as the legal one. And if you catch any person within the Nigerian territory, then you have no way of telling whether he came through the legal or illegal border. But now that there's a total ban, the distance between the border and, you know, the first settlement is so far that you can have no way of explaining why you are carrying what you are carrying because all borders have been closed. So you cannot say, okay, well, we brought in it here or no. Yes. All borders have been closed. Yes. So that effectively checked, you know. And just to quickly add to his rights, I tell you, there are no local rights that are better than Ekpoma and Agbede rights till tomorrow. I've eaten a lot of local rights. So it's a wake-up call for the Edo State government. There is no that technology. Rice production has been there before I was born.
Yes.
In Agbede, Osomegbe, Ekpoma, our local rice has existed. It survived the onslaught of this foreign rice.
Absolutely.
Ekpoma rice is still the most expensive in the market today because of the quality.
Yes.
Yes. So there is no reason why those states should not follow suit with what now. Very soon now we'll start buying rice from Cross River. We are buying from the north. Yes. We'll soon start buying from Cross River. When are we ever going to develop our own rice that we have always had?
That's a big question.
Yes.
That's a big question. But we hope that the authorities in charge will do something, if they are not already doing something, for us to have all of these issues addressed. Ekpoma rice remains one of the very best in the country right now. We need to expand the scope of production so we can do more and achieve more. But I think most importantly for me, gentlemen, when I try to review all that has happened in my mind, what came to my mind got me very emotional. Here is a country with so much of abundance of resources, both human and otherwise, and then we are lagging behind, which means, like it's always been said over time, the real challenge that we've had is the challenge of leadership.
Yes.
Provide the leadership, everything will go in the right direction. We've got the population, we've got the manpower, we've got everything here. That's what it means. I watched a video recently, and that video really got me thinking. Thousands of truckloads of goods that are stocked in the borders.
Yeah.
In some cases, some of the goods are rotting to the point that even the trailers or the trucks are rotting there. Which means these neighboring countries, they were just feasting on us. There's nothing wrong with us being a brother's keeper. But
there are established lines of
engagement that were being abused, and then everybody just thought that, I mean, it's business as usual. But don't you think in a way there could be some infringement on some of these treaties and charters that Nigeria has entered into within the ambit of ECOWAS?
No, not at all.
There are no infringements, really. Because over 10, Nigeria has just been a big brother who was really ready to feed everybody.
Big brother. Really.
So we have just been too lenient with our neighbors. And that is why they take Nigeria for granted. It's very, very unfortunate. If you look, I was just, the Ghana government the other day said it's going to give stipends to some of all these
farmers.
Importers that are stranded. For some time now, they have not to eat. So we're going to find a way of feeding them. Nigeria, foreign country, these neighboring countries, Nigeria have been too magnanimous.
But I think Nigeria is suffering from these border closures. Those who are also into exportation to other African countries. I will factor that into this conversation.
We are not really suffering. The real Nigerians are not suffering. They are the ones smiling now. It is those fake Nigerians who never mean well for us that will be complaining. Are you aware that for about 2015, some of these same fake Nigerians went as far as India to import Gari? With that,
I saw videos of that.
Okay, in fact,
I saw soup.
Imagine.
Imported soup, produced soup and then it's imported, that kind of a thing.
Does that make sense? In Nigeria will go and do that when you can virtually get Gari anywhere? So those illegal, let me call them illegal Nigerians, they are the ones that will be complaining. And Nigerians, genuine Nigerians like us, who know that we are Nigerians, are enjoying and we should not listen to their complaint. Okay. The fact now that the neighboring countries are beginning to think that Nigeria has been too magnanimous. They say they want to sit down and let us see what they have. We are going to give them stiff condition. Few weeks ago, sir, you are aware that the customs seized about 15 containers of expired rice. 15 containers. I'm aware. I don't know how far it has gone. They are linking it to the company, to one of the ministers. So it is quite that this conspiracy theory has been in existence for a very long time. So that is expired rice would have been consumed by Nigerians. And there's another clip, 15 individuals that were arrested the other day. Yeah. They were now rebagging those illegal rice, expired rice, into Nigerian bags, okay. So that they will not present it as Nigerian rice. Okay. So when we don't find time, the other day I don't want to go and buy anything. I just went to Lagos Street area. I count about 20 wheelbarrows loaded with Nigerian rice. So those big men that have told them said I cannot eat foreign Nigerian rice are not looking for it to eat.
But there could also be some conspiracy there, which has to do with some of the Nigerian rice being rebagged into foreign bags and presented as if they are foreign rice.
The truth of the matter is that that's the reality.
Yes.
Somebody raised an alarm and even I think caught them in camera where people are rebagging Nigerian rice and presenting them as foreign rice.
But isn't that that's victory for us too?
No, yes,
in a sense.
Because that is what it means. That's what it means is that the quality of Nigerian rice
is good enough for you.
So good that people now believe that it is foreign rice.
You know what they're doing? You know that foreign rice is 30-something thousand.
Okay.
So when you get Nigeria, maybe at the rate of 20,000, and because you have flare appetite of foreign rice, they will eat your money.
Yes.
And then you eat the Nigerian
rice. Like you can't catch me because for the past 6-8 years, I have never eaten foreign rice unless I went to occasion. Yes. So people that have vowed that I will never eat local rice, that market of rebagging Nigerian rice to foreign rice is their product, is their portion.
Now, have we also looked at the challenge of insecurity in the production of this rice?
Yes.
Because what really sustains the economy is not the multinational, the big farmers, are the small farmers, smallholders. Yes. They aggregate to form a bulk. And we know what challenge, the challenges we've had as it relates to security in recent times.
Yes.
Farmers attack, herdsmen attack and stuff like that. Yes. What are your thoughts as we continue?
Yes, you see, that's why I'm an advocate of structured policies. Because if you are going to structure policy, you are going to factor in all the factors that affect that policy. Yeah. That's an area that I think the government should look into because not just security in the farms, even in terms of preservation of these products and this produce, so that we don't, the other day we were reading about how snipers were being used to preserve beans. Now, some scientists came up to say, well, snipers will really not do damage, but there should be a level of the quantity that is put into the beans before we begin to consider it to be dangerous. So that's part of security. All of that should be factored into the policy because if you don't factor all of that into the policy, it will cripple it. Again, along the road, on the highways, we should also factor in how we can move those produce from the north to the south or from the south between the south. All of that should be factored in, really, yes.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for the thoughts that you've shared on this discussion. It's the TMI. This is where we close the discussion segment of the show, but we've got a couple of interviews coming up. And then recall that I did say at the beginning that we have free forms that will be given out today on the Miss ITV Hotlays Beauty Pageant. And if you're interested, this is just an opportunity that you've been waiting for. Stay tuned to This Morning on ITV, and we'll avail you that opportunity on the show today. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go away.